Welcome back, Star Wars fans, to episode 151 of Ronald's Reviews. And on today's episode, we've got a small piece of luck and a big piece of cardboard. Cue the march. Welcome back, everyone. Now, like I said in the intro, today we're going to take a look at a small piece of luck and a big piece of cardboard. And yes, you did hear me correctly, it's a Star Wars video.
Yes! Yes! Can you feel that, buddy?
Now, if you follow the channel closely, you'll know that in recent weeks and months, I've been starting to collect vintage Star Wars vehicles in a slightly different way. Now, I have got various Star Wars vehicles in the collection, but they're quite difficult to display sometimes. And what I've started doing is trying to get a box for them and then display them in the box. And this week's vehicle is no different. Now, I just want to give a shout out to Craig. Craig is a guy that I recently bought something from on eBay, and he gave me a fantastic deal and a fantastic price. And what was great about Craig was he was very sort of realistic about the price he could charge for this particular vintage Star Wars item. He didn't just see something vintage Star Wars and think he could charge the earth. He was great with his communication and sent me lots and lots of pictures just so I could get an accurate idea of condition. And as you can see on the screen, it was a vintage Star Wars box for the Rebel Transport. And like I say, he sent me lots of pictures, so I knew the condition. I was a little bit concerned, but when we agreed a price, I thought for the price, it was worth taking a punt and just seeing if I can restore the box. So let's go take a look at how I got on.
Okay, so before we get started, let me just give you a little bit of context to this purchase. Now, as you can see in front of me, we've got the Rebel Transport, or the Flying Pickle, as some people prefer to know it. And like anybody's, you know, when you pick this up on the secondary market, you may remember it was a while ago now, but when I bought this, it was incomplete, and it came in like a garden waste bag, just wrapped in a plastic bag. I was amazed that it arrived unscathed. But like a lot of Rebel Transports that you pick up on the secondary market, it is starting to discolour a tiny, tiny bit. But it was also incomplete. It had the guns missing at the back. Let me just see if I can take this off. Yeah, so you can just see. So it had these guns missing. But everything else was there. It had, I don't know if I can take this off. It had everything it needed at the front. All the decals are still there. And then when I opened it up, it had all the trays. And everything seemed okay. But I did need the guns, which as you can see I managed to pick up. But like any Rebel Transport, when you pick them up, it's always missing the hatch, or the escape hatch at the bottom. Now, I'll be very quick because this is not really what the video is about today. But you'll recall a couple of years ago, Alistair, a good friend of mine, turned up one day and he cleared out his parents' attic and he had tons and tons of vintage toys. Now, as sort of payment for me moving quite a lot of the stuff on for him, I made him quite a bit of money. So as payment, he sort of, whenever I wanted anything in there, he let me have a few bits here and there. I did pay him for a lot of the things, but then just for doing the work, he let me have a few bits. Well, once I'd finished, or I felt I'd finished, he did have a couple of really rare G.I. Joes in there that ended up going to Scuba, which was really nice. But there's a few accessories and just things left over that I couldn't really move on, and I give them back. Maybe midway through this year, Alistair contacted me again and said, look, I'll be honest, I've done nothing with them. Any chance you'll take them back and just try to do a little bit more business for me. Just see if you can move anything on, and then the rest of it I'll just take back, and I don't know what I'll do with it. But I said, yeah, of course I will, no problem. And when I got them back, there was a big bag of accessories, again, that I'd had before. But weirdly, I'd been through that bag of accessories a million times, and I don't know how I didn't spot something. So I emptied it all out again just to see if I felt there was anything I could move on. And right at the bottom was this. Now, can you believe I've been through those bags a million times, and how did I not spot this? So obviously, if you know your stuff, you'll know that this is the bottom hatch for the Troop Transport. The clips are intact. So I was very, very pleased. So obviously I got back in touch with Alistair and said, look, any chance I can take this? And of course he said, yeah, no problem whatsoever. So I then had a complete Rebel Transport. Well, again, if you follow the channel, you'll know a few months back, I was very, very lucky to receive a Cloud car from Matt over at Keep On Collecting. And before that, a box for the Cloud car from Andy at the Holo Chronicles. Now, what I've started to do, because I find that space is at a premium in the base now, and I find sometimes vehicles very difficult to display out of the box. Once I complete a vehicle, I'm trying to put them in a box, trying to buy a box and then display them in the box, because even though then you don't get to enjoy the vehicle, they're much easier to display in the box, and the boxes still look great as well. So I needed a box for the Rebel Transport. Now, because of the cost of living, etc., I'm on an even more modest budget than usual, but I did manage to pick this up. Let's go take a look. Okay, so This is what I purchased a couple of weeks ago. So like I said, I'm working on a very, very modest budget, which means that if I'm going to buy a box, I can't afford to go and get minty boxes because, you know, mint condition boxes or extremely good condition boxes are just out of my price range. So believe it or not, I picked this up for £20, and for £20 I thought it's worth doing. It's worth doing and just seeing if I can make it displayable again. So the idea is to try and get this displayable again, get it back into something like a box so that I can wrap up the Rebel Transport and put it inside and display it in the box. But as you can see, obviously we've got a few problems. We've got various sort of torn dog-ear bits like this all around, all across the top end as well. We've got old tape that maybe needs taking off as well. We've got little tears, things that will be very tricky. And of course, this is how it came. I haven't flat packed this. This is how it arrived. So all the glue down the edge has perished. So it's no longer in a box. It's no longer box format. It's completely flat. You can see at the top end, there's a couple of flaps that have got big chunks out and one is missing. But for 20 quid, I thought it was worth giving it a go. I was fully confident that I could sort of make this displayable again, a la VTR Dave. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to give this a good clean with some glass cleaner, try and make it nice and shiny, and then we'll start looking at some of the dog-eared parts, see if we can secure some of it up, and eventually get it back into being a box and get it displayed in the base. So let's just see what we can do. First of all, let's give it a good clean.
Emergency! Our prisoner escaped!
New Rebel Transport holds up to 42 action figures, each sold separately.
You'll never get me, Rebel Commander! You can't escape, Imperial TIE Fighter pilot! Didn't find the lasers. Good. Backpacks and gas masks are safe. That means he's hiding in the escape hatch. You knew where I was. Oldest trick in the book.
New Rebel Transport comes with everything you see here. Action figures each sold separately from Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection.
And there we go, everyone. Fully restored, or should I say, fully restored to the best of my ability. I am no VTR Dave, but I'm actually really, really pleased with it. Now, considering the condition when we started, I knew that it was never, ever going to be perfect. But is it displayable again? And that was the sort of result I was hoping for. For me, I think it absolutely is. I'm really, really pleased with it. Like I say, I know there's like chunks missing. There's a flap missing from one end, which there's nothing I can do about. But the Rebel Transport is safe and sound, tucked up in there now, and I'm really, really pleased with it. I don't want to move it too much because the glue is still setting, but not perfect, but definitely displayable. And of course, it's a lovely Palitoy box as well. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with that. So I just want to say thank you again to Craig on eBay for giving me such a good deal. I'm really pleased with this, Craig. Now, the Rebel Transport, like I say, is tucked up inside, and this is going to go nicely in my collection. So yeah, there we go, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by and giving me a shot. I hope you'll consider leaving a like and subscribing. And if you're one of my existing viewers and existing subscribers, thank you for sticking with me, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Leave any comments or questions in the comment section below. I always try to read everyone's comments and get back to everybody. And as always, keep collecting. I'll see you next time.